who should have started back? All that crack, all that strip, fumble sack, or just dial it on up. If you wanna talk smack, it don't matter what the story on. As long as the story aligns with a 49er mind.
49er minded.
It's not just a thought process,
49er minded,
but a way of life. Bashar.
49er minded.
Way of life.
49er minded.
We are here. We're live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Let me say what's up to some people in the chat. But really quick, we got my co-host, John V. from the Ohio State University. I had to throw that in there. My fellow Niner Empire buddy. Had to say what's up to you, bro. Thank you for coming along. It's a Thanksgiving weekend edition. We're still eating that Seattle Seahawks turkey. Thank you for coming along, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, always a pleasure, my man. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's say what's up to some people who've been waiting patiently in the chat. Let's say what's up to them. We got Roy Boy says, "Hey, fellas." We got Bebop. What up, Bebop? Red Jet. Jimmy Perez. We got a lot of people waiting. Appreciate it, man. Raphael 562 was the first one here. We got Mariah from 49er Faithful Lead Podcast says, "Have a great show, fellas. Appreciate you, Mariah. You can always check out her YouTube channel. We go on live every Tuesday with the Bring the Heat podcast. We do it on her channel, my channel, as well as Ryan's channel, which is No Border Sports. So just keep in mind what channel we'll be on. So every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. David Corona's in the house. Says, "What up, everyone? 49ers all day, every day. Throwbacks here." Brian Colb's here. Check him out on YouTube. Does a coffee talk on the weekends, Saturday and Sundays on his YouTube channel. I had the pleasure of meeting him at the New York Giants game. And yeah, I mean, we're coming off of a win. Oh, we got some more people coming in. Okay. My bad. We got Randy Daytona. His bad. John B. Guess who was an elite processor with elite escapability? Elite as fuck, Brock Purdy. Yeah, we can talk about Purdy later. And a lot of people don't think he's elite, but it doesn't matter to me. We win. He does a good job. That's all that matters. Ted Beach says, with Javon Hargrave added, he's going to give us Eagles details to everything, which is going to help us. It should help us. Tanya Seau is here. What's up, Tanya? She said, "Hi, fam."
What's up, Tanya?
Appreciate you. Yeah, we got a lot of people here. Pretty good for only announcing it 2 hours before showtime. So appreciate everybody showing up. 9 years ago on a Thanksgiving night, the 49ers got their butts kicked. I believe it was 19-3, if I'm not mistaken, at Levi's Stadium. Seattle Seahawks were munching down that turkey. Russell Wilson was doing his thing. Kaepernick wasn't looking too hot. And as a team, we kind of hit a point in time in the season where we were starting to fall off, for the first season at Levi's Stadium. Mm-hmm. And I remember a lot of people were getting mad, at the post-game thing with Richard Sherman eating the turkey on the 49ers logo and Russell Wilson. And, took us a long, long time. I never thought I'd see it happen, to be honest with you, but we finally returned the favor.
I loved it. Bro. I loved it so much. Oh my God. What's up, Chad? Good to see you. Symmetry, I see you, my man. Good to see you.
What up, Symmetry?
Oh, I see you, bro.
49er Chanel. What up, Faithful? Also, if you guys do not know who John V is, you're not subscribed to his channel. His YouTube channel is The Locker Room Rant. I put the description for that channel in the description box for this video. Just click the link, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Appreciate all you guys. Nighthawk's here. He'd be a legend in these YouTube streets from the Rombo show. If you remember Nighthawk, he's called in on this show before.
I remember Nighthawk. I do.
Nighthawk's a shit, dude. Nighthawk's awesome.
Dude.
And I wore the bling pregame for my Seahawks pregame show with Raj on Friday. Was it on Tuesday that we did the show? Yeah. I think Wednesday. And it's my 49ers Sacramento Faithful bling, and you got yours on, right?
Yeah, bro, you inspired me, man. Ohio Faithful Niners, bro. I'm the king of this crew, bro. Right here.
There you go. So he's repping Ohio. Repping Ohio. I'm repping Sacramento. I'm from the Bay Area, but I live in the Sacramento area right now, Sac area. But I'm a North Cali guy, you could say. Symmetry says that they were throwing the drumsticks in the stands. Yeah, they were. If you saw the saw the thumbnail of the video, I put George Kittle running off with the turkey. I thought that was freaking hilarious. You got to love that. It's funny because I called my sister the next day and I was like, "Hey, did you watch the game?" And she's a Niner fan, but she's got kids. She's always busy. And she's like, yeah, we caught most of the game and it was kind of a blowout. So yeah, I got you. And then she's like, oh, right away she mentioned, oh yeah, that was funny when Kittle ran off with the turkey. It's a little unprecedented,
Dude,
a little
it was
unprecedented,
good.
but I'm glad Kittle put his fingerprints on that moment. That was beautiful. I thought, they threw the turkeys to the stands and some people were munching on them.
Listen, man, I love my Niners and I love turkey, but I am not eating turkey legs that are flying through the air, bouncing off people's heads, shoulders, arms, and everything in between, bro. Hats off to anybody that did get that turkey leg and did eat it. If you ate it, God bless you. God bless you.
I could only imagine what it was like in the crowd when they threw that turkey leg up. It might have been like a mad scramble for that turkey, like the Barry Bonds record-breaking home run ball.
I'd rather catch one of Kyle's hat giveaways, bro. Like he's been going to these pressers with his hat hair and his hat's missing, and dude's tossing those into the stands as well. I really love it, man. I'd rather get a Shanny hat though.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know he does that. So a lot of people, it's funny, a lot of people, 49er fans pick up on certain things that I don't pick up on and vice versa. So it's always good to have that.
Well, bro, I mean, Shanahan wears a hat. He'll feature a nice jacket. It'll be a Niners salute to service or just a nice sideline apparel, bro. Within 20 minutes, half hour, as soon as they see Kyle wearing that gear, it's sold out on Fanatics, NFL Shop. Forget it, bro. You're not getting it. Shanny sells all that shit out. Bro. He's like their model. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And you'd be surprised because Shanahan's a coach who is not necessarily as loved as like a guy like Harbaugh was, so to speak. But yeah, for some reason, everybody bought that little hat with a little postage stamp on it. That's a Niners logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, Shanahan, I think has improved on things more so than in the past. You can kind of tell that from points of times he's a little bit more aggressive this season than he was in the past, and you can definitely tell that he's a bit more confident. He may not show it all the time, but a bit more confident in some ways with his quarterback. And more often than not, this season, you could catch Shanahan's not a celebratory type of coach. He's not a rah-rah guy, right? But last week and this week, I'll see Shanahan going,
yeah.
I don't know what he's saying, but he's got his fist pumped and he's looking pumped up with whatever he's yelling and saying. So that's a sign of positivity right there.
Sim, he's like a Kardashian.
He said, Kyle. He said Kyle's like a Kardashian.
Oh, shit.
I want more. Why? Because he sells merch or whatever.
Yeah, dude, it's Sim's funny, man. Sim's a good dude. Cool. He's a good
bring him
dude.
on one day.
He's got some one-liners that are great. He'll have me busting up.
Snapman says, "What to do?" Remember Snapple from the old Twitter Spaces that we used to do, and he said, "Yep." So let's get into the game really quick. I mean, 49ers won 31-13 in Seattle. Thing of beauty. I mean, really quick. Let's just give Brock Purdy his flowers. I mean, I'll give him a clap or whatever because the guy's 3-0. He's a Seahawk. He's officially a Seahawk killer. Right? I think that he's a Seahawk killer. We're a Niner fan base that, ever since the Richard Sherman, Russell Wilson era, the Legion of Boom, Pete Carroll, bubblegum chewing fucking era, whatever you want to call it, we fell victims to this Seattle Seahawks team more often than not. If we won, even in the Harbaugh era, we barely beat them, So it was just a thing of beauty, and we got a quarterback who's confident as hell, who's fucking tearing up the record books, already at 23 years old. You can call him assistant quarterback. You can say he doesn't have a high ceiling. You can say whatever you want from him. He's getting lucky. He's got a noodle arm. Whatever you want to say about him, the bottom line is the guy's putting up numbers. The guy's making throws on time. He's accurate. He's not fazed by the pass rush. What more can I say about the guy? I mean, again, sooner or later, Niner fans and other fans across the league are going to have to give this guy credit. It's sad.
It's sad, Bash. I mean, they're critiquing him on marginal things, bro. And, it's one thing to be a proud 49er fan, and it's another to follow the engagement, so to speak, the narratives, the headlines, the speculation. We're victims of that. We do a lot of that as fans, right? But the one thing we haven't had in a long time was competent quarterback play. And when I say competent, I mean a quarterback that can navigate the pocket almost like it's an innate sense, right? Like the way that Purdy just takes steps to the right, to the left when he moves up. You know what I'm saying? When he is feeling the pressure, his eyes lock downfield. He doesn't what's the word? Like he doesn't frighten easy, bro. Like he I listen, man. I always struggle trying to describe it because like it's not anything that I'm used to.
We're used to Jimmy getting rattled. You know, he
Jimmy would get rattled, and
you can see
he'd
his
roll
face
out,
and,
take the sack, statue friendly. You know what I'm saying? Like Brock just moves in just a small space. He moves left to right. He'll move up, and he'll throw. And it's a thing of beauty, fam. And poise. Thank you, Sam. Poise. It's that kid remains calm, cool, and collected. And it's just, I don't know, family. Like, I don't get scared, Bash. I told you this before, bro. I'm not nervous anymore. I'm not closing my eyes. Like, I'm truly engaged. I'm watching Purdy navigate that pocket and make plays. It's awesome, man. And we have an elite quarterback. And you know, that word can be misconstrued, can be tossed around lightly. But Purdy has elite tendencies. And he's only going to get better, right? I mean, it's his second year in the system, right? So he's just over 18 games. We know exactly who Purdy is. And folks in this fan base want to move the goalpost and constantly hold him to this, that, or the other. It's right, wrong, or indifferent, fam. Like, just be grateful because this doesn't happen often. And you see some really filthy quarterback play around the league. We are very fortunate, fam. We are very, very fortunate to have a competent quarterback and a quarterback who has the locker room in his pocket. Those guys respect him and they love him and they believe in him because they trust him.
That's from the guy who hosts the Locker Room Rant. There you go. We got Channel 49. Check him out on Instagram. He's got a good Instagram page. Because I think we reached a point where we don't have to compare Purdy and Jimmy's INTs. Yeah, Jimmy was something else. Although he wore thin on us at one point, to say the least. It was fun in the beginning, but we all know how it turned out to end. Fazil's here. What's up, Fazil? Says he does exactly what Kyle wants him to do. He's elite in those categories. I've never seen Jimmy be elite in any of those. Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is look at Purdy's from when Purdy first started with the Niners till now, from last year till now. I believe Purdy has a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, which is really, really good. A lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL do have a 2-to-1 quarterback ratio. Jimmy, when he was playing at his best, had a 2-to-1 quarterback ratio, 2 touchdowns to 1 interception ratio. So 3-to-1 is pretty damn good. I mean, you can look at all the stats and everything. I'm not saying he's elite, but he's putting up stats with all those elite quarterbacks, and he's number one in many categories, easily in the top 10 category, in my opinion. In the conversation, without a doubt. Dion from Niner Gang Podcast is here. Says, "What's up, fellas? 100." We got 49ers throwback again. There he is. Says, "What's up, the Sentinel?" Danny Golding's here. What's up? He's a YouTube legend, by the way.
What's up,
you remember on the
Dion,
TTC Trash Talk Circle. Melissa's here. What up, Melissa? She says, "Wait, I need clarification." She said, "Does this mean you were chill on Thanksgiving, John V? You never got nervous?" I didn't get nervous. I had ever since Purdy's been our quarterback, I can lean back on the couch. I can kick my legs up and sit back and enjoy a soda, a water, beer, potato chips, pizza, you name it. Because I know this guy is not going to do something ridiculously stupid. And I'm not going to feel good about the game. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to enjoy the game.
No, Izzy, I was not nervous during Thanksgiving. I actually was having a great day. I was looking forward to that game more than you can possibly imagine. I was excited until the INT. When the pick happened, Bash, it felt like the momentum was never ending, bro. Like it never ended. Like it started to make me uncomfortable, but I was not nervous, Melissa, if that makes any sense. I was not nervous, but I was a bit uncomfortable because that INT, the momentum that had shifted, it was like it started to unravel in a sense, or it seemed like it was unraveling. Batch, do you know what I'm talking about? You remember where it started to get a little uncomfortable? I wasn't nervous though. I was pissed that he threw that pick, but I knew that the interceptions were going to come. I knew that they were going to come, and we as fans just have to accept that this kid is not perfect. He is not perfect, but he's damn good.
Yeah. Well, they do come every now and then, but if compared to how many touchdowns he's thrown, it's still, you barely see an interception from the guy. That's what it is. I mean, yeah, the past 2 weeks, the past weeks before that, 6 touchdowns, 0 picks, almost perfect games back to back, which was pretty crazy. So, you know, I can't expect the guy to be perfect every single week. He is a human being.
It's an unreasonable expectation, brother.
Definitely. And you know, in that first drive in the first quarter against the Seahawks, to recap a few things. It was a 71-yard drive, 5 minutes, and just a lot of CMC catches some nice passes, a lot of Debo catches some nice passes down the field, and it was a very smooth drive. There was one throw on that drive where Purdy was faced some heat on the pass rush on the right side of the field, and Purdy scrambled, and I was like, oh, well, is he about to get sacked? What's he going to do? Okay, damn, he somehow found a way to get the ball off, threw the pass to Kittle on the sidelines. Kittle was outstretched, and I was like, oh, man, that would have been so nice if he made that play. And then, but ever since, other than that play on that drive, it was almost perfect. And lo and behold, later in the drive, they pretty much handed it off to Debo, and Debo did the rest. He just ran it in for 2 yards, right, on that little touchdown out of shotgun. The blocking was so nice on that play too, Trent Williams and Aaron Banks. You remember that touchdown, the first one?
Sure.
Yeah, that was nice. Okay, and I believe that's John V in the chat under the Locker Room Rant Ring. It's also streaming on John V's channel as well, the Locker Room Rant channel. And Sentinel asks, "Is Purdy making better throws this year than last year?" Honestly, in that Steelers game, the first game of the year, that game, even though he didn't have an amazing stat line in that game, he had a good stat line. But the eye test told me he's better this year than he was last year, and I've been right. He has been putting up way better numbers, and he's looking better. And not that he was bad last year; he was still good last year. I just think he's improved upon what he was last year. Surprisingly, from a guy who had a UCL injury and a surgery, I had my doubts that he wasn't going to be the same guy coming back, but he's better than he was last year.
No, I agree 100. Right, like post UCL. I mean, we were terrified as fans. We didn't know how Purdy was going to come back. We didn't know how he was going to bounce back from this. They were very transparent along the way. I feel like we as fans were very well informed on how Purdy was recovering, right? But week 1, I was there, bro, and it was lights out electric, my man. It was lights out. The vibe was phenomenal. So yeah, Sentinel, I believe 100 that he's making better throws this year. Yes, sir. I think he's more comfortable in the system this year. I'm very much believe that. Yes, he's making better throws this year for sure.
Definitely. So after the 49ers scored their first touchdown, Seattle actually got a field goal, and that was that on that drive. This was they had a 5-play drive basically on that play. And the Niners punted. Niners punted. Seahawks punted after that. Later in the second quarter, CMC ran it. The Niners had a 40-yard drive. 11 plays before 4 minutes and 51 seconds was their time possession on that drive. And they just a lot of CMC on that drive, actually. They ran in over the 1 yard line over Aaron Banks' side. And they just ran in with CMC. CMC was all bloodied up or whatever, but he was just having himself a nice game, man. Was looking good. And soon after that, the 49ers on defense, really quick, right after that, 3 plays in on the Seattle's ensuing drive, Ambry Thomas picks off Geno Smith. And that was really, really nice to see because a lot of people gave Ambry Thomas a whole lot of crap last year and this year in training camp, and they thought, he wasn't worth getting any playing time. And we make the coaching switch with Steve Wilkes on the sidelines, and then he makes a secondary switch, takes Oliver off the field. Now we see Ambry on the field, lo and behold, the guy's making plays. He should have had a touchdown in that one Jaguars game too, by the way.
Yeah. Embry, bro. Talk about a kid that rose from the ashes, huh? It just took Steve Wilkes to really believe in the kid, huh? That's it. That's all it took. Trust. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I wrote Ambry Thomas off. I wrote him off, Bash. And I will admit that every single day and twice on Tuesday. But the kid is doing what he's supposed to do, and he's doing it. He's doing it I'm not going to crown him, but he's on the right trajectory. You feel me? Ambry is on the right trajectory. He favors the outside.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be on the outside. He's not a nickel. This dude is an outside corner, and he has absolutely zero problems admitting that to you. I wonder how that's going to affect his contract someday. But I mean, hey, the guy's honest. He's telling you, I prefer the outside. I'm an outside guy. Period.
Yeah, I mean, I was starting to doubt him too. I mean, I liked him a lot his rookie year. Diamador Lenore and Ambry Thomas came out in the same draft. I'm one of those guys who's a mock draft like fiend or whatever. I'm just gonna sit there and do hella mock drafts, but about 4 or 5 of my mock drafts I had Ambry Thomas and Diamador Lenore picked in the same mock draft, and I was like, cool. When we drafted them both, I was like, oh, cool, this is nice. But yeah, I did write off Ambry Thomas. I was getting closer. I didn't 100% say I don't want to see him on the field anymore or anything like that. But I was like, this guy, his rookie year showed some promise, but now for whatever weird reason, he's fallen off. But hey, it's all about confidence at times. And if a coach believes in you, that's all it takes. So hopefully it continues. Hopefully Diamador Lenore steps up. Mooney Ward had himself a really, really nice game, by the way. He did, he's been very grabby this season in terms of when they throw the ball his way, especially on those out patterns, towards the sidelines, and a lot of times they throw the penalty flag on him, and it's very frustrating. But he stepped up to the plate, and to DK Metcalf, the guy's a fucking walking steroid that runs a 4.3. So it was pretty scary every time. The pass rush was really good overall, but every now and then Gino had time to throw it deep, right, and air it out. But every time he tried, Mooney Ward was right there every step of the way.
I loved it, bro. I think honestly, listen, Mooney needed this. He needed this, bro. He needed to remind me, you, and everybody in this chat why he's getting paid the money that he's getting paid. Mooney was struggling with penalties. He was getting a little grab happy. He was getting beat at times. And when you get desperate, you start making mistakes. My man cleaned it up. He cleaned it up in a division rival matchup, and he locked down BK. Not only did he lock him down, but he made sure that this dude was irrelevant. I was so happy for Mooney, bro, because honestly, I was never worried about Mooney, bro. I was never uncomfortable. I never got nervous. I was never upset with why are we paying this guy? Like, those things never crossed my mind. But the way that he handled his business Thursday night, bro, and you know what he attributes it to, Bash? You know what he attributes that success to Thursday night? The white unis, the lights, and the whole world was watching, bro.
Okay, whatever it takes for motivation.
Throwback made him feel like $1 million. He said, I felt good, I looked good, and I played good. Like, come on, bro. This is the guy. Like, Mooney, he needed that. And this team, Bash, they are capitalizing on past mistakes, and they're proving to you why they are one of the top 5 defenses in football, period. Point blank, period. Where the fuck are we ranked right now?
I know we're number 1 in least points given up. I do know that. I believe in yards we are either number 2 or number 3 last time I checked. Let's cover up the recap really quick. I'm not gonna take too long with this, but before the half, CMC did have a really, really nice touchdown. We didn't capitalize on that Ambry Thomas interception. We should have, but we ended up punting it, and it pissed me off. I hate it whenever we get an interception or a turnover and we don't score. I want to score a touchdown off an interception, but we didn't. But for later in the game, we had later in the second quarter, there was a 9-play drive. It took about 4 minutes, and CMC had himself a really really nice run. He like he like skipped steps kind of towards the left side of the field, and he does that little jump step right. And the next thing you know, he accelerated off of the right guard, and just twisted around. They tried to tackle him, and he just twisted around and fell right into the end zone. That was a really really nice touchdown. It showed a lot of just showed his vision, and then the kid's not easy to bring down either. Even though I don't want him to necessarily rough it up like 25 times a game on the ground, I just love watching the guy play. He's awesome.
Listen, Randy, listen, Randy, I take nothing from it. I get it. Seattle stinks. But you know what, bro? We owed them a beating. And not for nothing, man. They always play us. They always play us hard. And fortunately for us, we came out victorious, man. And
Okay, well, let's just say this though, Randy. Now the Rams beat them in the previous game. We get that. But prior to the Rams beating them in the previous game, and they were tied for us with the division lead, right? So, I don't think they were terrible, and they have done pretty well against lesser teams. I just think it's pretty obvious that we are the better team. That's all. And let's go to CMC's box score really, really quick. Let's do that in just a second, because I know a lot of people are saying he's having an MVP type season, and I'm not going to cry over spilled milk if he doesn't win the MVP. I'm not that type of person, because I don't really dive too deep into individual accolades. And I do like amazing stat lines, but as far as awards or whatever, I'm more about the team awards and what the team can do. But just to talk about the stat line really quick for CMC in this game: 19 carries for 114 yards, 6 yards a pop, 2 touchdowns on the ground. I'll take that. And CMC also had 5 catches for 25 yards. So Elijah Mitchell has had some carries, 7 carries for 39 yards, about a 5.6 average. Were you okay with what you see with Elijah Mitchell the past few games?
Yes. He's getting better. He's getting better. Those 5-6 yards that average, that was pretty consistent for Mitchell prior to CMC. I think we were getting 5.5 to 6 yards a carry with Mitchell prior to CMC. So we are seeing a small sample size of who Mitchell was, and I hope that he continues that, bro. I really do.
Dion from Niner King Podcast says, I'm still tired of the MVP award always being handed to a damn quarterback. Other positions do matter. I agree. I definitely agree with that. If he is truly the best player, hands down. I haven't followed too much of the other players in terms of stat lines across the league, but if he deserves it, it'll be nice, and hopefully he does get it. So some more box score stats really, really quick. Purdy played a lot better in the previous 2 games. He had when they came back from the half, the 49ers were pinned, I believe, at the 5-yard line or something like that, and there was an errant pass that Purdy threw, and I didn't like it because there were like 3 guys kind of surrounding where CMC was, and the pass was a little behind CMC. It bounced off his hand. Boom! Seattle Seahawks linebacker intercepted it, got a pick 6. So that's a big momentum changer. You could say it gets the crowd involved, and it was a big like stop in the game in terms of our excuse me. Our momentum was definitely stopped right there. People were saying like, "Oh wow," because the first half was just crazy. We just lit up the scoreboard like crazy. Like 24 points in the first half was nuts. But Niner Game Podcast also says CMC is the best all-purpose player in the league. Period. No one is better. He's excellent. He's awesome. But yeah, Purdy stat line: 21 for 30, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's see. Debo on the ground, 4 carries, 15 yards, 3.8 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. Debo on the receiving end, 7 catches, 79 yards, 11.3 per catch. Brandon Ayuk, 2 catches for 50 yards, 25 a pop, and 1 really, really nice touchdown that we'll talk about later. And Ray McLeod, 1 catch, 23 yards. Kittle, it would have been nice to see Kittle get a little bit more involved. 3 catches, 19 yards. And Charlie Warner, 1 catch, 9 yards. And later in the game, Jawan Jennings had himself, it was only 7-yard catch, but it's probably one of the most beautiful 7-yard catches I've ever seen. You want to talk about that play, that conversion?
When he fought for those yards and shook 3 defenders and got over and got the first down, bro. This is the thing about Jawan. Like, I feel like he is quite frankly, probably my X factor on this offense, because he'll get you those hard yards. He is, he is, he is very reliable, and he's got that dog in him, dude. He'll fight you, and Kyle loves that shit. Kyle absolutely loves the dog in Juwan Jennings. Sadly, I don't know that he'll be able to remain a 49er, but Juwan is one of those guys that, like, we need that. We need that third in Juwan. We need that reliability. And I love seeing it, Bash. I love seeing it, man. He is a dog, bro. And that was awesome. That actually, I'll tell you what, my hairs on my arms stood up when he fought for those yards. It gave me the chills, bro. I don't know if anybody else in the chat felt that sudden rush, but bro, it gave me the chills. Like, I love that shit. I value that. Like, this dude he is my X factor. He is my X factor, bro. And I think he will be moving forward. You'll see.
You know what? In the previous weeks of Juwan Jennings has been quiet. Last year, consistently, he was our third down guy, and he was constantly converting on third downs last year. And although for not being a fast guy, he would always find a way to make people miss or break tackles and get the extra yards. He'd always fight for the extra yards no matter what. So on that one conversion was really nice. I mean, yeah, he had a whole bunch of people around him. I was like, damn, it's going to be short. He's not going to get that first down. And even the announcer said so too. And lo and behold, he found a way to fight and get it. So I just love that passion that he has for fighting for the extra yard. And a lot of guys on this Niner team, just Debo, IU, Kittle, they always try to scratch and claw for extra yards. They're not going to go down when the first guy hits them. And Sentinel says, Kittle 2019 vibes with that play. So there you go. So what else is going on with the Snyder team? Okay, so I know later in this game, we gave it that pick six. It was the only actual touchdown that Seattle scored. The defense didn't give up a touchdown. Our offense gave up a touchdown. Later in the game, we
special teams was ass cheeks and gave them awesome field position. Right?
Oh, all throughout the game, right? I mean, I've noticed it in previous games.
They weren't too bad, Bash. That initial field goal, that first 3 points, after special teams gave up those 3 points, they tightened it up. They tightened it up.
I'll say this, but in general throughout the season, I just noticed that like the kickoff coverage unit has not been up to my standards. They seem to give whatever returner out there a whole lot of room to return, and it's kind of annoying. Melissa says she loves typing in capitals, by the way. I don't know if that's just
that's her expression. She's expressing her emotions in caps. This is
you know what? I've noticed that she's done that a whole lot, but I've never noticed it enough to say something about it. It's kind of just one of those things that just goes over your head. But anyways, caps and all, she says Bash, she has 2 back-to-back games being overthrown in the end zone. That was not on Juwan Jennings. He's still bringing it. No, I like Jennings, dude. I just more used to seeing him as the guy who converts on third down. So it's like for some reason we're not really going to him. You mentioned the end zone, but I'm just thinking about he was more of a consistent red zone type of threat, which is what we had.
Yeah, I think they essentially drafted him hoping that larger frame in the end zone would be, a red zone threat, so to speak. But he ended up being entirely different, bro. Like, I don't know. I think Juwan was supposed to be what they wanted in what's his face? Jalen Hurd, right? I essentially think that Juwan fulfilled that void. Regardless,
I just think Jalen Hurd was a bit more explosive after the catch. He was a lot faster, but a similar size type player. Yeah, there's a guy, dude. I was talking to Joey. Joey. I've already started doing mock drafts, even though I don't do mock drafts this early. I'm like, we got a lot of picks, and let me just go on the mock draft website and just see what I can pick up. And we were talking about this wide receiver from Florida State. Dude is like 6'7", 238 pounds, runs the 4.4. Like, oh man, we might be able to get this guy in round 3. Let's get him. Forgot his name though. I think his name's Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. Last name Wilson. I can't remember his first name, but he's on Florida State. I'll give you some of his highlights to check him out. But later, and back to the game, that is, in the fourth quarter, the Niners did punt. And then on the ensuing drive, the Seahawks punted away. And then the Niners followed that up with a 3-minute, so basically a 64-yard drive that lasted 3 minutes and 31 seconds, which ended in a Purdy pass to the deep right of the field for 28 yards, touchdown. And when Purdy threw that, from what I'm hearing, it was supposed to be a check down type throw or a shorter throw, and it wasn't necessarily designed for Purdy to throw it to Ayuk on that play. But Purdy saw something he liked, and I like that. Purdy saw something he liked, saw him open. He felt, hey, I'm going to take that risky throw, and I'm going to throw it to him and get him another touchdown. You know, we saw in the previous weeks where Purdy threw against the Jaguars, right? Purdy threw a pass that he wasn't, quote unquote, supposed to throw, and it ended up being a touchdown to Ayuk. And I just love the fact that I told you this before. I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned it to you. He's got that Brock Favre, Brett Purdy type aspect to his game. I mean, he's not the ultimate gunslinger, but he's got a gunslinger type mentality, risk taker type vibe to his game that I like. And some people don't like it, like, oh well, that could be an interception. I'm like, no, you need a guy to put his foot on the gas and make those throws from time to time. And you saw Shanahan's reaction on that throw too, man. He was pumped up.
Listen, that probably was one of my modern day favorite throws from a 49er quarterback. That was a beautiful throw, Bash. That was a beautiful throw. And not for nothing, you know, we're sick and tired of Brandon Ayuk running routes out there and nobody able to hit him. Sick and tired of those, of watching him out there burning the secondary and nobody can deliver an accurate pass. I give 100% to Brock for making that throw, regardless of what was going to happen. When you look at Brock's face, I've watched that throw at least 10 times, bro. At least 10 times. Brock's face, he looks bound and determined to hit that. When he threw it, bro, I sat back, bro. If anybody was within a wingspan, I'm grabbing you by your neck or your shirt or your shoulder, and I'm probably squeezing you to death because I get animated, I get wild, bro. When Ayuk caught that and dove into the end zone, I fell off the chair, dude. I fell off my chair. I rolled on my carpet like a child, and I was kicking my feet, screaming. It was an intense moment for me. It was probably Brock's best throw as the 49er. Probably his best touchdown pass. Anybody care to put another pass? That was my favorite Brock Purdy touchdown, or Brock Favre, as you put.
Yeah, just when he's got that risk taker, he's got that gunslinger vibe to him. You know, the confidence with Brock is very admirable. Just swagger that he has on the field, the competitive, the fiery, competitive edge. I mean, these are all traits that he has that you see from veteran quarterbacks, guys who've been in the league 5 to 10 years, you know, and it's great to see it coming from a guy who's only 23 years old. You know, some people thought, oh, you know, he doesn't have a high ceiling and he's never going to get better. What we saw was what we saw from Brock last year, and teams are going to have film on him and figure it out. Well, there's plenty of film out there right now. They're not figuring him out. So whatever it is, you can call him assistant quarterback all you want. I mean, feel free to. He's just going to find a way to fill the stat sheet, going to find a way to win games. And as been Sentinel had a really, really nice comment trying to find it. He said, Brock is the Honda Civic with the twin turbo charged V8 underneath the hood. Yeah. So that, so like Mahomes is like your Lamborghini, right? I mean, I'll take a Honda Civic that's souped up with a twin turbo V8 engine. And I'll take it, you know, with this team, with the roster that we have and who we got. So yeah, that's really, really nice. Actually, there was a really, really nice stat line for Brock Purdy that I'll pull up. I put it up on my Instagram page actually, and I'll pop it up in just a minute because I'm not the biggest stat guy, but every now and then there are stats that do pop up, and I think that people should be aware of certain accolades that people do, you know, certain milestones that people reach, and it's good to have. And why not recognize certain players for their achievements? So if you guys can read this, it says highest quarterback rating in first 15 career starts in NFL history. We can start off with Kurt Warner, 11.7 QB rating. Patrick Mahomes, 112.4. At the top of the list is Brock Purdy, 116.3. Some people say, oh, he's assistant quarterback. Oh, he's got the best weapons, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes right here, coached by Andy Reid, who's arguably has one of the best systems, arguably one of the best coaches in the NFL. Had Tyreek Hill to throw to, obviously had Kelsey to throw to that year. Kurt Warner, I mean, he had plenty of great coaches on that roster to help him along the way. He had the greatest show on turf, Isaac Bruce at his prime, Torrey Holt, Marshall Falk. I can go down the line. The greatest show on turf. So, to diminish what Purdy does is because he's got good players around him or good coaches. I just think it's pretty sour and pretty weak and pretty shitty in my opinion. And all Brock Purdy at the end of the day, all you can do is win games. All you can do is make them. Regit says it's the comment section for me. LOL. If you're on my Instagram, peep the comment section of that that post, and it'll drive you wild. A lot of crazy. There's a Purdy hater on there, and it's just nuts. And I was going back and forth with him, and I don't like it. For me, if I have my doubts about somebody, and they prove me wrong, I'm going to say, hey, they proved me wrong. Especially if they play for the 49ers, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. And I'm gonna stick with that and say, hey, this is a good thing, though. If I was wrong, it's a good thing. It benefits the team. David McNiner is in the chat. My bad, I missed your comments earlier. What's up, bro? Good to have you here. Check them out with Brian Culp. They're always going live and doing their little things on their respective YouTube channels.
I see you, bro. I see you, Brian.
Yeah, Brian's up in here too. Yeah. So really quick, the final score was 31-13. I predicted 34-13, so I was a little off, but I was pretty close at the same time. Yeah, it's pretty close.
That's a good prediction.
Leading tackler for the game was Dre Greenlaw. He always plays well against Seattle. Always has good games. 5 tackles, 3 unassisted, and Diamond Lenore was the second leading tackler. Tayshaun Gibson. We racked up a lot of sacks in this game. Tayshaun Gibson had a sack on a blitz. Nick Bosa had 2 sacks. I said when this Chase Young trade went down, expect to see more of the Bosa that we're used to, more so than the Bosa who's just only getting pressures and not getting sacks. Javon Hargrave, 1.5 sacks. Eric Armstead, 1 sack. And Kevin Givens got a half a sack. I thought maybe Chase Young got a sack in this game, but he didn't. But plenty of pressures. And what do you think about the pass rush with the addition of Chase Young and the way we got to Geno so many times?
Brother, I'm biased. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm a Buckeye fan. Hats off to my Buckeyes today. You guys played a hell of a game. Lost in Ann Arbor. Nonetheless, I mean, bro, we have 15 sacks since acquiring Chase Young. I mean, there's not much more we as fans could ask for. I mean, the pass rush was kind of dull, right? It was kind of dull. And you acquire Gregory. I don't see much. I didn't see much of a change adding Gregory. Adding Chase Young, you're able to move Bosa around. You can attack the interior. You can shut down the bro. He brings versatility on that line. And now you have to pick your poison. The 49ers defensive line it's starting to show midseason form. And midseason form is a good thing. Because if you've already racked up, 15 sacks since acquiring Chase Young. Think about that, Bash. Think about how many sacks we had prior. What would it have looked like without Chase Young? When would this team have achieved 15 sacks? Think about it. I know a lot of people are concerned about what will we do with Chase Young after this season, right? There's the BA Chase Young thing. Who are you going to sign? Yada, yada, yada. Let's save that for the end of the episode. We'll chop that up. But for now, this pass rush is everything I expect it to be with no excuses. you have more than enough talent to make a full run at a Super Bowl trophy. You have enough. You have the manpower. There are no excuses. This team is this defense is nasty. They are nasty.
And that you brought up the 15 sacks in 3 games since acquiring Chase Young, and lo and behold, I did have that graphic on my Instagram. So yeah, I mean, I was super excited when we got Chase Young. I know you were too, because you're obviously the Ohio State Buckeye fan, and yeah, Chase Young.
I lost my mind.
He's a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature, like Bosa. Very similar. I mean, he's different than Bosa in many ways, but they're both from Ohio State, and they're both dominant pass rushers. And like he said, it's going to be a race at the quarterback. This game, it felt like the whole D line had a race at the quarterback, because when Gino was getting hit, I didn't know who was getting the sack. I was like, wait, who hit him first? Because everybody was just on top of the guy.
That special sack where Bosa and Chase Young shared that sack in the Jags game, my man, that was a moment for me. I told you, Bash, I texted you. I said, I got emotional. Bro, I was emotional on that sack. Watching 2 former Buckeyes bring down Trevor Lawrence just made me feel so good, bro. Like it was like I knew in that moment that this was going to be a tandem that was going to wreak havoc. And here we are, bro. 15 sacks in 3 games. Come on, fam. It doesn't get better than that.
This could be the defensive version of the CMC move, the CMC trade that we have.
Oh, so, I mean, definitely making an impact. That's a great comparison.
And really quick, I'm going to break down the box score of the game really, really quick. So total yards for the game, 377 yards for the 49ers, 220 yards for the Seahawks. At one point in the first half, it was like the Niners had like racked up like over 100 some odd yards, and Seahawks only had like 10 yards. It was a major differential. 208 passing yards for the Niners, and 132 for Seattle. 169 rushing yards for the 49ers, 88 for Seattle. 5.8 yards per play for the 49ers, 4.1 for Seattle. Niners had 23 first downs. Seahawks had 14 first downs. 49ers were 5 for 11 on third downs. Seahawks were 3 for 11. Let's see. So sacks allowed. Niners only allowed 1 sack, which is great. And there are times where, don't think that Purdy has like a great offensive line or anything like that. And he only got sacked once, because there were so many times where he has to scramble around and run for his life a little bit here and there. And there are plenty of times where he makes throws with people in his face. The Ayuk touchdown, he definitely had somebody in his face. It's not like he's just standing there in a 100% clean pocket and it's just easy pickings. Let me say what's up to Ryan from No Border Sports. He is here. So what's up, everyone?
What's up, Ryan?
And check out Ryan's YouTube channel, No Border Sports. Really good dude. I collabed out with him. Don's here too. Where's Don? There's Don. What's up, Ron? What's up, Don? Good to see you. And I did put up a poll on the 49er Minded YouTube channel. I know the stream's running on both channels, but if you want to cast your votes, go ahead. It's on the we're on the chat. I can read over the poll for you. The poll is who gets the game ball, and first name I have up there is Brock Purdy. After that, I do have Nick Bosa with the 2 sacks, CMC, and I have Mooney Ward. We mentioned Mooney Ward had a great game, limiting DK Metcalf. I'll pull DK Metcalf's stat line really quick. That's always a player who just freaks me out and worries me, because the guy's just a giant at wide receiver. DK Metcalf, for the record, only had 3 catches for 32 yards, 10.7 a pop. The big play of the game for the Seahawks that was a little scary was Jackson Smith in Jigba, if I'm saying that name right, with that crazy one-handed.
You said it. You said it. Perfect.
There you go. That crazy one-handed grab that he had on the sidelines. That was like a Odell Beckham Jr. type grab or whatever, one-hander. But other than that, I mean,
former Buckeye there, Bash.
You're right. He is a former Buckeye. I totally forgot. I was wondering why you were getting so excited about me saying his name, but then I forgot, because I remember I was watching part of the game and they were showing great Ohio State Buckeye wide receivers, and lo and behold, he was one of them. Zach Charbonnet on the ground. That name always cracks me up. 14 carries, 47 yards, 3.4 carry. Definitely not the Marshawn Lynch that we saw back in the days. I know Kenneth Walker, their best running back, was out, but I still think we would have won. Geno Smith, 18 for 27, 180, and 1 interception. And that was it. That was ball game for the Niners. pretty decent stat line. We could have blown them out by a whole lot more. I get it, but maybe it wasn't smart to necessarily show your cards prior to the week of playing the Eagles. Maybe Shanahan wanted to be conservative. I'm just throwing that out there. And Symmetry says that's almost a swear word. Are you talking about me trying to say I'm that guy Jackson Smith's name? I'm not sure. Oh.
Good night, Izzy. Take care. I definitely will. Gemma will get a scratch behind the ears.
All right. Take care, Izzy. Good to see you, though. Lo Jackson's here. What's up, Lo Jackson? He says, Gino is petrified of our defense. Hey, that's the comeback player of the year. Just remember that. And Randy Daytona said, I used to love Lisa Charbonnet. That name definitely sounds familiar. I just don't remember who that is. You might want to clear. Was that Lisa from what was that? How am I forgetting the name? Saved by the Bell? Oh, was that her full name on Saved by the Bell?
No, that wasn't her.
Was that actress or something like that? Or a last name from a sitcom? You got me with that one. Again, if you guys are new, if you guys just hopped on, there is a poll in the chat for player of the game. Who gets the game ball? I mentioned Purdy, Bosa, CMC, or Mooney Ward. Cast your votes. Right now, it's pretty even, actually. Brock Purdy's at 30%. CMC's at 30. Mooney Ward's at 30. You can cast your vote too, John V. I won't let me vote. I can't vote on my own poll, but you can cast a vote on my poll if you want, John V.
You got it, bro.
He said Lisa Bonet from the Cosby. So I definitely remember Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Bonet. Okay, from the Cosby.
He said Lisa Charbonnet, though. I gotta look.
Yeah, you said Charbonnet. I'm over here looking at I'm looking at a travel agent and whatever you're into there, Randy.
Whenever I hear Charbonnet, I think of Chardonnay, the drink, the wine or whatever. Yeah, so the Eagles last game where they came off, a lot of people were pissed because they played the Monday night game against the Chiefs, 21-17. Who was it that dropped the pass at the end? Was that Kelsey? Was that Kelsey that dropped the pass for the Chiefs at the end? That Eagles game?
Oh no, that was hold on, MVS.
Scantling.
That was
Scantling.
MVS.
Yeah, I always forget how to say his name. It's like one of those 3 name type deals.
I just say MVS because
MVS. Yeah, I remember him on the Packers. That deep pass to me reminded me of Jimmy's deep pass to Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl a little bit, don't you think?
You know what? Geno's was better. Geno's was better. You know why?
Geno? What do you mean, Patrick
was
Mahomes?
actually.
Mahomes.
I'm sorry. Mahomes. Mahomes was a much better throw. It was catchable. MVS gets his hands on that ball, bro. He actually gets his hands on the ball. He just couldn't bring it in. So absolutely 100. Mahomes' throw was far better than Jimmy's.
Yeah. By default, it should be better than Jimmy. He throw that he makes. Yeah, that's the guy that got benched by the Raiders. So yeah,
bro, that's right.
Yeah, we definitely don't miss Jimmy in town. Oh, my cousin's a Raider. My cousin's a. What's
Kyle
that?
McCord today of the Buckeyes. He embraced his Jimmy G, and he gave the game away. No different than Jimmy G in the NFC Championship game.
I must have hurt.
It hurt.
Did you break anything?
No. You know what? I didn't break anything because Ryan Day's 1-6 versus ranked opponents. He's 0-3 versus the Michigan Wolverines. So you know what? Fucking Day. You got to be better, bro. You got to be better. Hey, Kyle McCord. Listen, and this Purdy does this shit too. Purdy does this. So this is a rant for not only Kyle McCord, but also for Brock Purdy. Those snap decisions that you make when you're getting or about to get sacked, that last minute reaction, that snap decision, I fucking hate it. I mean, I absolutely fucking hate it.
I remember I mentioned this on the space because I thought I mentioned it because I liked it where Purdy was about to get sacked.
No, you're right. And a lot of guys agree with you.
His knee almost hit the ground, and right away he fucking threw it to Kittle. And I was
Kittle
like,
was there. He was there. The awareness, I'll give him that. But the game prior, remember, he was like losing his footing. He's tripping. He's falling. And then he has this reaction where he throws it. Right.
Every now and then it's a little early Steve Youngish. Steve Young in his early days. Steve Young in his early days.
Snap reaction.
Had some erratic type moments. I definitely remember Steve Young doing those type of things. And it's a double-edged sword. I get it. At your second beer?
Yeah. I
just
want to
got
give
my
a shout
waters.
out to a local brewery here in Cleveland.
Okay.
Right? It's, the Great Lakes Christmas Ale. I wish you all could have a taste because this is one of the best Christmas ales on planet Earth. I just want you guys to know it's one of the best Christmas ales on planet Earth. Great Lakes, right here in Cleveland, fam. They are a bomb.com brewery. They are awesome. You guys will love it. I wish you guys could taste it. It should be worldwide. It's that delicious.
Worldwide.
Yes, sir.
There you go. And for those of you who haven't voted yet in the poll, definitely cast your votes because we don't have a clear-cut winner yet. I want to announce who gets the game ball. And I can't vote on my own poll, so otherwise I would. So
I'll vote.
You're gonna vote? Okay, cool. So so it was 21-17. Eagles, I believe. What's their record now? I believe let me see their total record. I'll just Eagles NFL record. Give me a second. They are currently okay. I thought it was 8-1. They're 9-1. So they're definitely, geez, man. The only loss they had was on the road, and they should have lost to KC, but they didn't. They've won some fairly close games too. It's not like the Eagles are sitting there just blowing their opponents out or anything like that. I mean, they won some fairly close games. But let me just go ahead and look at their stat line really quick. So, for example, they played the Cowboys, right? 28-23 was the final score. That was on November 5th. That was fairly recent, right before the Chiefs game. And Commanders game again. Commanders, they're not a great team, right? 38-31. Eagles come out on top. You guys are seeing where I'm going with this. Now they play the Dolphins. Dolphins are a pretty damn good team. 31-17. They somehow lost to the Jets 20-14. That's a head scratcher. Against the Rams, 14-23. Again, against the Commanders, 34-31. 25-11 to the Buccaneers. They're not blowing teams out. I mean, 34-28 against the Vikings. Sure, they have more wins than the Niners, and I get it. We had that stupid 3-game slump, but I wouldn't say this team is necessarily just mind-blowing or dominating. And if you pull up many team stat lines in terms of, how many yards we're giving up or how many yards we're putting out on those type of stat lines, how many points we're putting up, we actually exceed the Eagles in many categories. I know last year the Eagles had that crazy stat line with the sacks. I mean, for the season they put up like 70 sacks, and they still got a pretty damn good pass rush. But I wouldn't say they're the fierce, amazing pass rush that almost creeped up on the Chicago Bears records of getting sacks like they did last year either. And getting our pass rush has improved a whole lot with that Chase Young move and Randy Gregory. So this team can be beaten, is what I'm saying. Now we have to be on our A game. Sim mentioned something earlier in the chat. I missed your comment. I wanted to put it on the screen. Keep in mind there's a lot of comments. So if I miss your comment, it just means that we're getting caught in the conversation, and therefore I just missed the comment. I don't flash on the screen, but there was a comment by Symmetry that I wanted to throw up that was about Spencer Burford, and I'll pull that up in just a second once I find it. Shout out to Symmetry. He's a great guy, very knowledgeable, from the Twitter Spaces. And if you guys are watching and you still haven't casted your vote, please cast your vote for who wins the game ball of this game. Brock Purdy, CMC, Mooney Ward. Those are the guys you can vote for. And
Bash,
go ahead.
Is the poll still there? Because I think Dawn was having a hard time finding it. She said it's not there.
Oh, really? I don't know why. If she, I don't hear you, bro. You're muted. Oh, I hear you now.
I might have made that up completely, but I saw somebody in there said that the poll. Oh yeah, it was done. It's not showing up. The voting poll.
You know what I noticed, that the poll doesn't always show up for people who use their phone when they watch the YouTube shows. And okay. I have it up on my laptop on one of my tabs, and it's working for me just fine. But YouTube's kind of weird like that sometimes, so it's all good. Don't I wouldn't trip off that. Symmetry 7 said, Bash, if Burford doesn't get called for holding, we would have had 34 points. The reason why I brought that up is this team has had a lot of really, really bad penalties. I mean, I think we're pretty close to tops of the league in penalties this year, which isn't good. That's like if we're getting all these penalties, it's like a team like the Raiders. We're a stoic franchise who's a finesse type team. We are a rough them up type team as well, but on offense we should be more disciplined than that too. That's how I look at NFL teams with the most penalties. Let me see. Let me find out who has the most penalties, and we can't afford to have penalties in this damn Eagles game. Definitely, we can't win the penalty battles. What I'm trying to say, meaning we can't have more penalties than they do. So let me see the team that averages the most penalties, if I can find it. Let me see if I can find that really quick for you guys. And so the 49ers average 6.5 penalties per game, which is 22nd in the league. That's not good. I mean, but Philly, let me see what they're averaging. See, Philly's at the top 7 in the league. They average 5.4 per game. So they're a little bit better than us penalty wise. And we gotta play mistake free football against a team like Philly. What do you think? You're muted, bro.
My bad, bro. I agree 100. We've seen what the penalties when they stack up against us. We've seen how debilitating the penalties have cost us. Right? We've seen that in the past. That's the one thing about the Seattle game. There were how many penalties did we even have versus Seattle? It was very few, bro. Right? We've tightened that up. We've tightened that up. Because the last game that was heavily impacted by penalties was that the first loss that we had versus who the hell was our first loss?
Browns? You were there, Cleveland Browns.
Browns.
The game you went to.
Yeah.
And this game we only had 3 penalties for 20 yards. So we definitely won the penalty battle this time. I'm okay.
Around. I'm good with that. That's fine. That's fine. I know that when the stakes get higher, bro, that's when the opportunity for error presents itself. So let's just hope that they've tightened it up, bro, and penalties should not be a problem for us. Tim, I see you, bro, and my man wants to give Wilkes the game ball. It seems as though Steve Wilkes gets the game ball for Sim. I saw you earlier, Sim, make a comment to where you felt like you were one of the few that appreciate Wilkes getting the job, right? Becoming the coordinator for the Niners. I was unsure. I was nervous because of Wilkes's track record. But I'm happy. I'm happy because I do believe, Sim, that Wilkes coming down from the booth to the sideline made a big difference. And I am guilty. I'm guilty for a lot of things. I was one that didn't believe in the booth. I wanted him to come down. Then I felt like this was ridiculous. We're making this super awkward. The Niners were making it awkward. But when the dust settled, bro, I do believe that him being on the sideline makes a great deal of a difference. Not for me, the fan, but for the players. I think the players were just used to that. And him not being present on the sideline, the communication was just too long, right? It was too long, Bash. Communicating on the sideline is much quicker. You get a good feel for that. I'm just happy that I'm not quite giving him game ball, Bash, but I'm very, very happy with symmetry. I'm sorry. I'm very happy with Steve Wilkes.
I'm happy with symmetry. And I'm happy with Steve Wilkes. How about that?
I am happy with Sim. Sim is my dude, man. I love that guy. He's a great dude.
So yes, he said he gets the game ball for me. I just like seeing him on the sidelines. The Niners defensive players are used to having that D coordinator on the sidelines. They were used to Robert Saleh. They were used to D'Amico Orion. So whatever works for the guys that we have, let's do this. So I love what our DBs are doing. We don't have big time famous all pro DBs on the squad. We got a mixture of mainly young guys with a couple of vets. I mean, Gibson is a wily vet, but he is playing out of his mind. He's not getting you amazing big time plays, but everything else is top notch with that guy. Symmetry mentioned Colton McKivitz is his borderline Compton and Person and Mike Person. Yeah, Randy mentioned is Colton McKivitz, Tom Compton status. He's a little like Tom Compton. Yeah, when Tom Compton took over him for McGlinchey or whatever, pretty similar, I'd say. McKivitz isn't my favorite guy out there, but at times he does better than I thought he would. One of those type of guys. We got Rashad Akil, 49ers, says he's talking about wrestling. The CM Punk and Randy Orton are back in WWE. Okay. What do you think about the game, though? We didn't hear your thoughts about the game. Thank you, 49ers Throwback. You smash that like button. If you haven't casted your votes yet, and keep saying this, just cast your votes because I want some separation with some of the guys right now. It was like tied for quite some time in the poll, and I want a clear-cut winner. It looks like Mooney Ward has a lead right now at 39%.
Yes.
CMC for the game ball, 22%. Nick Bosa, 6%, and Brock Purdy, 33%. And that's 18 votes right there. Okay, but if anybody has a vote, just let them know.
If you put Steve Wilkes in there, definitely Sim is going to be in the 1%.
It can only give me. It can only let me write in 4 names. So,
if I'm not mistaken, at one point last season, Tom Compton was grading very high, right?
It was the year before last year, wasn't it?
It was
the year before last year. He was grading okay. He was grading a little bit around what McGlinchey was doing. So, and then maybe he was a little bit better in pass pro. The thing about McGlinchey, we all remember, like, he would have a steady overall game where you wouldn't really see him, do too bad, and then he would have that one, the play that he did mess up on would just stand out like a sore thumb. You'd see him getting tossed like a rag doll by Micah Parsons, or letting the guy run right by him like a turnstile, like a matador, and just wallop the quarterback and
let a DB pancake you.
Yeah, I definitely do not miss those things. I just do not miss it. I was doing some mock drafts and all the mock drafts, and I was reading some mock drafts on websites, and a lot of the mock draft websites say we're taking a tackle, and I hope we do. There are some good tackles that are going to be available somewhere towards the bottom of the first round where we're most likely to be picking. So that's good to know. Rashad, another wrestling reference, says Triple H is the John Lynch of the WWE. Okay, if he says so.
Rashad, I agree, bro. I'm happy they won Thursday, man. I really am.
And Symmetry says, I'm happy. Damn, I'm happy with me too. I'd be having gas today, but I'm still. Is that Thanksgiving meals are catching up with you? Okay, I got that.
Leftovers.
Yep. Oh, Luter. Randy Daytona mentioned Luter. Luter needs to step up now on that one kickoff where they almost ran it back for a touchdown. Who stepped in and made the tackle?
Luter, bro.
Luter. Like Ludacris, Luter.
If it wasn't for Luter, it's gone, bro. He's off. He's out. It's over. That's a touchdown.
And welcome to the Terror Dome. We got Sam Bashar, John V. Terror Dome does really, really nice morning shows. Tuesday and Thursday, I believe, on this channel. Subscribe to his channel. Had him on before. I'd love to have him on for another post-game wrap-up type show in the future. Definitely hit you up on social media and try to get you back on again. He's just full of personality. He's, just loves music like I do and loves pop culture and just loves the Niners, loves football. He's passionate. He's a God-fearing man, and always good to have Terry Dome around and hear his insight. Yeah. He said, Dre Greenlaw that like button. Bishop. Yeah,
call him Bishop over at the Wayne Breezy show. Terry Dome's a good dude, man. I was very happy to meet him.
Oh, you did meet Terry Dome. Okay, cool.
I did. I got to meet him, man.
Cool, nice. He says, I don't play games. I am the game. Oh, that's from Triple H. Okay, it's another Triple H. Randy, Luter is not fat, bro. That guy's built, man. That dude is not fat. Oh, he's a fast-ass Luter. Oh,
Luter is probably. Oh, I get it. Yeah. I thought, dude.
I thought. My bad, Randy. Randy, in your extreme comments. I thought you were. Randy. I noticed you like to be negative sometimes, so I thought you were going to hit me up with some negativity. That's why I read it wrong. My bad.
Randy, apologies. I read that as fat ass Luter, bro. I read that as fat ass Luter, and that was funny, bro.
And Terradomes that you got here cast your vote for who gets the game ball. We'd appreciate it. He says, Rashad says, I hope this is a Niner comment. He says, I'm happy that the 49ers won on my birthday last Sunday. I made 37. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you. We appreciate that. That's awesome. The Niners won on your birthday. That's great. The only time the Niners can win on my birthday if it's in the Super Bowl. And the last time I was disappointed. That was when we played the Ravens and it sucked, but oh well.
I'm a February birthday myself.
Yeah, on February 3rd. That was when we played the Ravens. The Super Bowls fell on my birthday a lot, actually. By the way, just one Niner Super Bowl so far. We got to win the next one if it does land on my Super Bowl. Not land on my birthday, that is. And what else we got in here? Red Jet says, I'm waiting for my invite to the illustrious 49er Minded Show. It'll happen when you least expect it. How about that? It'll happen when you least expect that. I like to surprise people. And Terry Dome says, thank you, brothers. You're far too kind. Big City Man here. It says, who is the double Debo with the cheese this year? I don't know what he means by that. Could you clarify that or expand on that? I'm not sure what you mean.
Who is the double Debo with cheese this year?
I don't know. I don't get that. I've seen him on the chats before, though.
Big City. I don't know if there's a pause or if there's a spell check.
I don't know.
Paradome, we share the same birthday, bro.
We got the same birthday. You got the same birthday.
I'm February 10, 83. Hell yes.
I don't know why, but I'm not trying to hate on people who aren't Aquariuses. But Aquarius Niner fans are the ones I bond with the easiest for whatever reason. So so shout out to Aquarius Niner fans out there. Now, February 3rd. I don't think any other. If anybody else is February 3rd, let me know. But I'd be surprised. That's cool. That's cool.
I am sharing my birthday with Terradome. This is special. This is special, Terradome. This is a breakthrough. I don't share a birthday with anybody but strange dated actors. It's weird. Thank God I found somebody in my fan base.
You know what? For years when I was younger, I used to like when I was in high school and junior high, I'd be like, what celebrities had the same birthday that I do? And I swear for years it was only like Morgan Fairchild or whatever. Like he said dated actor. I was like, nobody knows. Nobody knows that. I don't know who has, now that you brought that up, let me see who has a birthday on my birthday.
Listen, I don't share a birthday with anybody famous that's exciting. I really don't. So Paradome takes the gig, man. This is great.
Great. Celebrity birthdays for February 3rd. Daddy Yankee.
Jim Brown?
This is I did not care
hold
for
on
this at all.
Bro. He said Jim Brown, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, Bashar, John V. We're in good company.
But I'm February 3rd. I'm February 3rd, though. Is he just talking about Aquariuses in general? He's talking about Aquariuses?
Yeah.
I think he means Aquarius. I bet Michael Jordan out of that list. That's cool. No. Michael Jordan. Did Larry Bird, Terrell Owens for me. There you go. And I pulled it up. Daddy Yankee has a birthday on February 3rd. A lot of people who I've never freaking heard of. Amal Clooney. I know who she is, but I could care less because I'm not a big George Clooney fan, as George Clooney's wife. Morgan Fairchild, like I mentioned, Nathan Lane, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people who I don't care for. Yeah, oh well. Brandon Michael Hall, if you guys know who that is, I guess he's some actor or something. Fran Tarkenton, he had his birthday on February 3rd. Okay. There you go. Not too many people that I really care for, though. Oh well. Nathan Lane. Oh, Sean Kingston. Sean Kingston. There you go.
Sean Kingston. That's a victory. That's a victory.
Shorty, I will take you there. So I could take you. I could take. That song used to crack me up, man. We're just good. We already did our recap of the game. We already talked a little bit about the Eagles. We're on here a little bit just to shoot the shit. And just a reminder to close up. I'm going to close up my poll now. If you haven't cast your votes at the last minute for the poll. Who gets the game ball? Is it Brock Purdy? Is it Nick Bosa? The CMC? Is it Mooney Ward? For those of you who are not subscribed to John V's YouTube channel, it's the Locker Room Rant. If you hit the description box of this video, you will find the Locker Room Rant right there for you to subscribe. And I got a random question. Bash, do you know Egyptian Arabic? So Arabic's my mother tongue, but when I came to America, English became my dominant language and kind of broken when I speak it. But I understand some Egyptian Arabic. I know a little bit. The Egyptian Arabic I mainly know is from the songs because their music is really, really popular. But it's funny that you raised that question. That's very, very random. It caught me off guard. And Big City Man says, I was at the Buccaneers game. I was right in front of CMC when he scored on that pass play. Okay, that would have been a really, really fun game to go to. I know Ted was there from Ted Talks Ball. I do the collab with him on Ball with Bash and Ted, and he for sure he was having a lot of fun there. He was there with Ty Alston. Shout out to Ty. Ty's a good guy. And Paul Hope from the Brit UK Niner Empire. There were about 40 people sitting up in the gold mine section for the British UK Empire. A whole bunch of people from England came to watch that game. So there you go.
Bro, that was a special trip for them, Bash. That was a special trip.
Oh yeah,
and those guys, yeah, man, they made the best of it. Shout out to the UK faithful. You guys are incredible. Paul, Nick Ludlam, man, good dudes. Just so happy that you guys had a blast at Levi's. Hats off to you guys. I'm so happy you guys made it safely and you made it safely home. Take care, fellas.
That's funny, Symmetry. I'm not gonna say it, but that's funny. That cracked me up. He said Sean Kingston, LOL. I knew his grandfather. Okay, there you go. Interesting. Small world, man. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. It's always been like lackluster whenever I pull up celebrities that have a birthday on February 3rd. I always hope that year in, year out, it would be somebody more interesting, like a 49er player or whatever. But no, nobody interesting, nobody cool, at least for me, on February 3rd. And what did you have for Thanksgiving in terms of dinner? I know you probably had the turkey, but what else?
Oh, bro, listen. So there was a lot of Greek food. We had pasticcio. We had
pasticcio. Okay, there you go.
Lambs, bro. We had the spread. It was turkey, green bean casserole. I know a lot of people are not fans of green bean casserole. I don't know what's the matter with you people. I don't understand. I love green bean casserole. I know it's not a fan favorite, but I absolutely love it. The cranberry sauce Bash, the just a nice salad, all the turkey, stuffing, a pasta. We had mashed potatoes, homemade gravy. I had a great Thanksgiving, and to win on Thanksgiving night, bro, this was probably my favorite Thanksgiving in the last decade, to say the least. I had a great Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna lie. I ate great. My team won. Family, just time well spent, and I really enjoyed it, man. I truly did.
Hey, cool. The lamb, I'm a big lamb guy. We had roasted lamb. My mom made some. I can't explain what it is, but it's just an Iraqi type of stew that my mom makes really, really well. We had turkey. I'm not a big turkey guy, but we had turkey. We had lamb and rice, a slow cooked lamb, Middle Eastern style. We had this Middle Eastern style slow cooked chicken. It was just, both of them were just amazing. I love those type of dishes, and yeah, food was really, really good. We ate very, very well on Thanksgiving, and the Niners ate well on the field with their turkey. CMC said the turkey was cooked well. He's surprised how hot it was, and it was still hot, and it was good. And Nick Bosa, take a bite out of the damn turkey. Don't sit there and go,
no.
Oh, I don't eat carbs.
He is a calculated individual. Bosa is not putting that in his body because that is not his diet. And he's I don't know. I don't know. Bosa's a different individual. God bless him though, man. He's just, if you wanted to know what I aspire to be someday, it's Bosa. It's Bosa. I aspire to have that figure. I don't care to wear Kardashian underwear. I really don't care for their Skims or whatever it is, but Bosa's a machine, bro, and he has no problem telling you no carbs, no thank you, nope.
He said, "I only eat meat." Well, grab a piece of meat, though, is what I'm saying. Because they said they had spaghetti, some other stuff. Like, grab a damn piece of one of the turkey legs or whatever. Eat something. But I just love it. Again, I mentioned it earlier. When Kittle ran with the freaking turkey, and he was just running around acting a fool. I was like, yes,
my wife and I were cracking up, bro.
I love that. I'm glad. I hope that pissed off Seattle fans even more when he did that stuff. I really, really do. And I don't know if you're trying to rub it in, because John V's an Ohio State fan, but he says Terradome listening. Shout out to the Michigan
See,
Wolverines.
you know, Terradome. Listen, bro. I listen. Today was a good day. You guys beat me. You beat us. You beat us, but you didn't embarrass us. So, with that being said, it sucked. I'm not gonna lie, man. I struggle, man. Marvin Harrison he's him. And I'm sad, man. I really wanted to see more of him, but I'll be rooting for him wherever he ends up in the league. I am going to be a huge Harrison fan. Anybody that watches college football, I think you guys can appreciate some Marvin Harrison Jr. Just an amazing human being first and foremost, and a great athlete. You guys got just support my man Marvin Harrison whenever you get a chance, because he's just a great individual and he's a phenomenal athlete.
Phenomenal athlete. Yeah, it was really good college football games going on yesterday, the day before, and somebody had to lose. Both teams were 11-0, but you got to have a loser. I apologize. It was your team. I texted you during the game. I said, I want your team to win. I'm not sure if you saw my text, but just for simple fact,
I saw it, but I was standing there. I was at work. I'm at the restaurant, bro. I'm in the kitchen. My staff is literally, they stay far away from me, bro. They don't even get near me when I'm watching the Niners or the Buckeyes. It's steer clear, bro. Steer clear, because he could throw something. He could yell. He could jump. I stomp my feet. I bang on the table. I'm a madman. I'm a madman. That being said, I did get your text and I appreciate it, but I was like, I'm really crazy, bro. Like, I can't make score predictions. I can't. I always go through the same door I entered. I leave through the same door I entered. I'm nuts. I'm nuts. It's as simple as that. But I love.
I gotta watch a Niner game with you one day. Whether it's at somebody's house, at a sports bar, or a real game. I just want to see how you act.
You need a shield, because as soon as we do stuff, I get nuts, bro. Like, I'll punch the shield. I'm crazy, bro. Like, my family, they're either afraid or they laugh at me. It's that simple.
They're all gonna laugh at you. Let me see. Oh, we got a lot of people. I was gonna close up shop, but we got a lot of people jumping in here. We're just shooting the shit right now, actually, to be honest. We already did the recap of the Seahawks game. It was a beautiful game. Niners got to the quarterback 6 times. Freaking Purdy threw a beautiful dime to Ayuk. The quarterback who some Niner fans don't think is good enough, apparently, or some people are. I like that. Would love to win.
It's not right, Bash. Let's take a second, 10 seconds to understand. Like, what are you people talking about? What's up, twin? I see you, brother. Joseph Mahomey, my man. He was texting me while the Buckeyes were on their 1 minute drill. The fans that are just not satisfied with Brock Purdy. If you're not satisfied with Brock Purdy, you're not a 49er fan. Hell, you're not even a football fan. Like, you can't take what Brock does and diminish it. You're just not right. You're not right. Like, Brock Purdy is a great quarterback, whether he's a system quarterback or a second-year quarterback. Who gives a fuck? Who cares, bro? He's leading our beloved Niners to victories. It's not even close. Like, who would you prefer? I don't understand. It's the one thing that bothers me the most, because I see fans tearing down Brock Purdy after a victory. I can't understand what you want. If you're tearing him down after a victory, stay the fuck off social media. You're not a 49er fan. If you don't appreciate what this kid's done, you're not a 49er fan. Just stop. Find some other team and indulge. Like, stop it. Like, the kid has done enough to please each and every one of us, regardless if it's a win or a loss. He's done enough to make me happy, you happy, and if anybody in the chat is as you appreciate what you've got. Bash, I see it. Remember when I told you, bro, I don't see that on my timeline? After
I do remember, yes.
For those 3 losses and even the 3 wins after, I have seen on my timeline crazy haters. Bro, I can't even engage with that. There's no time in my day where I want to defend a kid that doesn't need my defense. He doesn't need me fighting for him. He has put it on the field, like it or don't. You're not a Niner fan if you're not happy with Brock Purdy. I'm sorry, you're just not a Niner fan. Shut the fuck up. Stop breaking it down. Stop micromanaging. Just stop. Stop it. We have a great quarterback here. And he has elite tendencies. And he's going to capitalize on those. And he's going to hone in on those. He's going to be better because of it. If you don't like Brock Purdy, if you can even criticize him, you're not a 49er fan. Sorry. I digress. Like, you're not a 49er. It's that simple.
From the preacher himself, he says, preach, John V from Pterodome. Thank you for Pterodome. We appreciate you. And T-Dome says, Symmetry says, T-Dome, not to mention 3-1. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier in the show too. The 3-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Most good quarterbacks are 2-1 in this league. 3-1 is rare. So if you're not happy with that, I don't know. I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, they literally want Purdy to throw for 450 yards per game and go 40 for 40 on completions and throw 5 touchdowns per game to say, okay, he's good. He's good on his own. It's not the system. It's not the weapons around him. It's not the defense. It's not CMC, whatever crap. I mean, let's be realistic here. The elite quarterbacks who are big-time elite quarterbacks who look like elite quarterbacks, he's 6'5". He has a strong arm. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like all these attributes that people go over. Like those, look at their stat lines. It's a lot of them don't have eye-popping stats this season. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. And if you're winning the damn games, and sure, we went on that stupid 3-game slump, I get it. But if you put his body of work last year and then add this year on top of it, and the stupid injury that he had against the Eagles, but yeah, he's coming out better than he was after the injury. Where is there? I don't know what room is there to hate. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I wanted Trey Lance to be the guy for this team too. We gave up God knows how many picks to get Trey Lance. Really good guy, great kid, a lot of great physical attributes. We saw that high ceiling or whatever you want to call it. And it's like, for whatever reason, Shanahan, it didn't fly with Shanahan. Things didn't work. And if it was going to work, it may have taken about 3 years or 2 years or 3 years, who knows, in terms of development. Purdy comes in there, already looks developed. He's doing things that 5 to 10 year quarterbacks in the league are already doing. It's an unfortunate situation for Lance. I get it. It's a big boy sport. It's a dog-eat-dog type of sport. It's just how it works sometimes in this business. It's not fun. I get it. It's sad. It's messed up or whatever. But at the end of the day, this team has to win now. We have all these veterans waiting to win now. We have guys like Trent Williams who aren't going to be there forever, and guys who are on contracts only on 1 or 2 year deals. And you got a guy who's just playing hella good right off the bat. So of course that's the guy who they're going to go with. I mean, and let's be real. If Trey played this season, let's be real with yourselves, he wouldn't have put up these numbers that Purdy's putting up. I mean, I like Trey a lot, but you just have to be realistic about it, though. You can like the player and still be realistic about the situation. That's all.
You know what bothers me is that you got to prove yourself as a quarterback for the 49ers. You've got to carry a team on your shoulders. You have to be the guy that won. It's not about your weapons. It's about you, the quarterback, you yourself. Sim says it here. You got to rush for 500 yards and throw a bunch of touchdowns. You know, like we measure success by comparing what we have to a Mahomes or a Jalen Hurts, right? Like we're not satisfied as a whole if our quarterback doesn't put the team on his shoulders and wins in spite of that. Like it's it you'll criticize Purdy or you'll criticize the team if it's not a perfect situation. But then you want Purdy to create magic. Like he's done enough to be his name is last year he was in the same conversation as Patrick Mahomes and what's his name?
For what team?
The
Josh
Rams.
Allen?
Say his name.
Stafford?
Rams. No. He's an analyst now.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. I'm sorry, Kurt Warner. He was in he has been in conversations with elite talent. So he's done enough to be in the conversation. His milestones are far and few. Like, bro, when you say he's in a conversation with Joe Montana in 89, like his passer rating was so good. Like, I don't know what the fuck you want more from a kid. What should he do? You know, it blows my mind, man, because you'll nitpick at Brock Purdy and we'll win. Like we won, we won, bro. And you'll take it to the lab and you'll tear it down. Is he suffering from arm fatigue? Fuck no. Shut the fuck up. He's not suffering from arm fatigue. Stop that shit. Stop taking this fan base down the fucking rabbit hole. I can't stand that shit. Stop it. You are just striving for engagement, and you'll say anything to get these fucking small-minded individuals on Twitter to follow you and like your posts and retweet. And it might be. No, the fuck it's not. Stop. His arm is fine. His arm has been fine. He is making waves, bro. Like Brock Purdy is in conversation for an MVP. Will he win the MVP? Probably not. But he's doing enough that these morons on television are talking about it. Like, you have a special quarterback and you want to diminish his success. I don't fucking understand, bro. What are you people doing? Like, I respect engagement. I do. But when it's fucking clown engagement, I'm done. I'm done. You want us to tune in to follow. What the fuck do you want us to say? You want us to sit here in the chat? Oh yeah, he was terrible today. He's short. He doesn't see well. He can't get by. Motherfucker is moving in the pocket almost like he's invisible. And it's not good enough for you. It's not good enough for you. So stop making this fan base, stop taking the small-minded individuals and making them like, because the small-minded individuals that are casual fans, they're influenced by content creation that is going down the rabbit hole. They follow you, and then they get out there and they start talking all this garbage and they start tweeting astronomically stupid shit. I'm tired of it, bro. There's no time. 49er fans have been waiting for a quarterback. We get the fucking last pick in the draft. He's exceeding expectations far beyond. And you've got these motherfuckers that want to take that body of work and tear it apart and break it down like you're a fucking you're not a quarterback coach. You're not an NFL quarterback coach. You just want to make people believe that this kid has some weakness. And then you want to expose it. It's bullshit. Just let us win a game and say how fucking good he's been. And stop micromanaging this kid. It's bullshit. I can't stand it. I'm tired of it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Just if you're gonna critique the kid, then do it when he's been great and keep that fucking energy. Because I'm gonna come for you motherfuckers. I'm coming for every motherfucker that bullshits for engagement and money. I'm gonna fucking break you, bro. It's bullshit. I hate that shit. I will, bro. I'll start a channel that exposes bullshit. That's simple.
Yeah,
right.
I wish I had my soundboard program hooked up today because I would have thrown in an applause or some loud horns for that.
Bashar, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of the engagement excuse. They're doing it for clicks. I'm tired of that shit. Stop it. Stop. You could probably get more engagement by just telling the fucking truth and stop trying to steer a narrative down the rabbit hole. Stop. This fan base is already influenced enough. They don't need to be confused. Stop. We know what we see. We see greatness. We love it. Stop ruining it for me. Stop trying to take it and break it down. I can't stand that, bro. It bothers the fuck out of me. Grant, I saw Grant arm fatigue.
I have. Did he mention he said that today? When did he say it last?
It doesn't matter.
I know they mentioned that he had that puffy thing around his arm, and from what I was hearing, it's some new thing.
They were putting heat.
It's some new thing that the training staff has to increase blood circulation to lessen inflammation, and it's just it's something that they have along the way to help him. Just to help him to recover faster. It's not like he's hurt or anything like that.
You know what? My arm's sore. What do you got? Give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you tie to my arm, what you wrap my arm in. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I don't care. If my arm is sore, my arm is sore. You got anything? Like, I don't give a shit. He's human. He's not a machine. He's human. He did just have an UCL operation. Like, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that the kid's arm is sore. But if it's sore, we will fucking tear him down, bro. We are going to make him less than what he is because he might be sore. Like, we're human beings. Like, get the fuck off that shit.
And at the same time, when Purdy, for example, when we lost the Cleveland Browns game, he didn't have the greatest game ever. I get that. You know, he had his struggles, but he's playing a strong ass defense on the road in the rain. Ball slipped out of his hands a few times. At the end of the day, he still put the team in a position to win the game. It's unfortunate we have Moody, he looks like a deer in headlights sometimes, and he missed the field goal. So that part sucked. You know, we played Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was balling the F out, and the defense couldn't get the heck off the field. And that was another obstacle. And there were a lot of penalties in those games too. And then Purdy threw for crazy yards, 360 yards versus the Bengals. And just things weren't flowing in terms of the cohesion with the team in a lot of those games, especially in that Bengals game. He threw for tons of yards. But at the end of the day, you're going to have slumps in terms of your team losing. I mean, if anybody thinks that just because the Niner team is so talented and we finally found a better quarterback, that now they must go 17-0 and they better win the Super Bowl. It's like, sure, we all want to love to win a Super Bowl, but to act like, oh, Purdy doesn't win a Super Bowl, he's trash, he's garbage, get him out of there. Like, some people are just really, really unrealistic with their expectations. And all I got to say is looks like a very, very good quarterback off the bat, possibly great right off the bat. He's only 23. He definitely has room to get better. We're pleasantly surprised by what he's been doing so far. and we all need to rally up behind him and the rest of the team. That's how I look at it. There's a lot of comments that I do want to catch up with, and I'll do my best to catch up with the comments because a lot of comments were flowed in. And I think we're still tied on that poll, though. I keep talking about the poll, but the poll is still tied at 37.
Mooney won the poll. Mooney won the poll.
No. Well, it's still Brock Purdy and Mooney tied right now. So there just has to be one more to put in the tiebreaker, and hopefully somebody does that soon. And we got Bobby Flay comment. Bobby Flay has carpal tunnel sometimes. You don't want the meal?
You don't want the meal?
Bobby Flay could cook his ass off.
Oh, yep. Man. Listen. I got crazy. Listen, here's the thing about, I like Grant, but he's not a 49er fan. So don't go to him looking for warm cuddles. He's not going to give you that. He is neutral. That dude is neutral. Like, he's just going to report it the way he sees it. It's not, he's not a fan of the team. So you're not going to get what you're looking for. However, he does happen to ask the questions that I wonder, and most of us do. He happens to ask those questions because the other boneheads in the room during the presses, they ask the most bullshit, corny. Kyle, how did you feel on that third down? What? Stop.
Yeah. I don't like the vanilla reporting. For it? I don't like vanilla reporting. I don't like vanilla questions. Now, Grant isn't my favorite guy out there, but I'm okay with him being in the mix. I'll say that much. But this is pretty funny because at times he goes out of his way to stir the pot, but I know he's going to do that, so it doesn't necessarily drive me nuts. But Symmetry says,
I want to be the voice. I want to be the voice that gets in between and says to the family that's being influenced by him, just don't listen to that shit. Like, he offers other things that are intriguing. Don't bite on the arm fatigue. Stop. If his arm is sore, fuck it. It's sore. Let him be. You know, Brock should be able to tell the entire fan base after a win, my arm was sore. He should be able to fucking tell you his arm was sore. But if he does, holy fuck, the the 97 channels are going to fucking go nuts. Oh my God. Brock Purdy said his arm was sore. And then there's a fucking call-in show, contributions. What are you contributing to? What the fuck are you paying for? Why are you sending anybody money to say what? What the fuck do you want from these people? They're human beings, but Brock, God forbid Brock Purdy ever goes to the podium and ever admits that his arm was in fact sore. So they use that contraption to heat it up and loosen it up. God forbid, right? Like that's where we are, bro. Like that's where this, as a fan, I want to hear my quarterback tell me, I'm good. I was a little stiff. I was a little sore. I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like, I want him to be able to say that without content creation, taking it, dissecting it, and then serving it up like a fucking failure. I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired.
Okay. All right. We got to catch up to the comments because I left a lot of people out. Let's do that in a minute, and then we'll wrap it up soon. Okay, so we got Symmetry. He said something funny. I had to read this. He said, Grant, I saw Brandon Ayuk wearing eyeglasses on Brandon Ayuk wearing glasses on the Armstead's podcast. Should 49ers be concerned about his eyesight? That's so true. Like he'll find little funny little angles.
The guy's fucking blind. That's why we lost 3 games, bro. He was wearing glasses. He finally got in his hand.
And shout out to Dubs Club 30. Big Warriors fan / Niner fan. Good to see you. I was going to shout you out earlier, but we got caught in the heat of the conversation. Says, I want whatever John V is having. There you go. And 49er dude's up in here. I got to shout him out. He's the guy who did my theme music. He's a big time 49er fan out of Southern California. And he's also a hip hop artist. Definitely going to throw his comments on the screen so you guys know who he is so you can subscribe to his channel. In the meantime, that is Twin Empire right there. Says, how y'all fellas doing? Twin, what's up, Twin? He's been on the show before. 49er dude is here. He says, bang, bang, just finished watching San Francisco versus Cincinnati in the Super Bowl 1989. Still had me on the edge of my seat. What's up, fellas? Let's play some Eagles. Let's do that. Check out 49er Dude's YouTube channel. That's his name right there. He does the theme music for him with the 49er Minded YouTube channel. Great guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him last year in Levi's. So good dude. And there's a question for you in the chat from Joey Mahoney about Chase Young. And here we go. John V's a big Ohio State fan, big Chase Young fan, and Nick Bosa fan. Says John V, if it came down to paying one and losing one, who would you rather pay? Chase Young or Brandon Ayuk?
BA. I love Chase Young, but BA.
So you'd rather keep Ayuk?
Absolutely. We developed him here. He is.
That's a tough one. That's a toughie.
He's a product of the system. I'm going BA. Look, in a perfect world, Joe, I would like to believe that John Lynch can make this work and can make an effort to keep both. But if I had to choose, I'm going to go BA. I love my Buckeyes, and but at this point, it's BA, man. I mean, he's a product of the system. We developed him here. He's bought in, right? Like Chase Young is he's joined a stack of elite talent, right? So I don't know, bro. Like I want to believe that we can make room for both, but if we couldn't, I'm gonna go BA.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what we do with where this Chase Young journey takes us this season. It's gonna be very, very interesting. I don't want to say too much, but I have some visions in my head, and some Fred Dean acquisition comparisons pop in my head. The Charles Haley going to the damn Cowboys visions pop in my head. But go ahead.
Bash, do you know why I chose BA? Because I very much like what I heard him when he was being interviewed. He said that Brock always tells him, "I'm going to be better for you," and then BA reiterates and says, "I'm going to be better for you." And that camaraderie, like that right there, that just those few words, that does it for me. Like I get chills because BA believes in Brock and Brock believes in BA, and they're building chemistry it's you can't replicate that, right? Like I believe that when BA bought into that saying, like, I will be better for you, they believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when a man says to you, I will be better for you. When Brock would tell, do you remember when the players said that Brock would look at the O-line and he would demand their attention? Like, Trent, are you listening to me? I'm speaking right now. Not verbatim, but you understand what I'm saying? Like Brock has that control he's got that control, right? And in the huddle, he has no problem telling you to pay attention to him. So when a man says, I will be better for you, it makes you want to be better for him. And that chemistry that we are witnessing, my favorite throw. That's Brock being better for BA and BA being better for Brock by catching that pass and putting the dagger in that fucking bird. Period. That's what those words essentially mean. I will be better for you. They believe that, and they are better for it. I'm going BA.
All right. It's a tough one for me, but Terradome is feeling what I'm feeling. He says, reference Chase Young. I was thinking Fred Dean, the 49ers in 1981 as well. Yeah, it's a nice comparison. It really is. Hopefully, it gives us similar dividends on the receiving end. Terradome also says leadership qualities. He and CMC look like those newly minted officers out of West Point. I'm telling you, no. That is very true. I never thought of it that way, but it makes so much sense. And the Buckeye bookends. Yep, I love the Buckeye bookends. Shout out to them. I'm getting a little choked up here because I'm trying to not to cough. I coughed earlier. 49er dude says, John V, you're a monster, bro. I call him the Greek destroyer. That's my little nickname for him.
Dude, I appreciate you, bro. You got my
Herb's awesome.
I've been watching you from afar, my man.
There you go. He's got a lot of cool 49. He made a new song about what's his name? Trent Williams, the Silverback. Yeah, check out his song and his 49er Minded theme song that he made that he helped make for me is actually on Spotify now. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice little thing right there. And if I miss it, and Randy Jotillo says the D line is why we're killing teams. It definitely helped out our defense a whole lot. He says, look how long it took to replace D Ford. Yep, I totally agree. I don't know what pass rushers are really coming out. I haven't really studied the pass rushers in this draft. We were to lose Chase Young, and it would suck, but we better scout like crazy and get a good one if we're going to lose the guy. That's for sure. Okay, we've been on here for a long, long time. Let's see another. This is the funny one right here. He said that the 49ers drafted a Buckeye kicker, we would have won against the Browns. Maybe, right? maybe we would have been used to that. Cleveland weather. I don't know.
I had to get out of Cleveland, bro. They were ready to eat me alive. Like
what city do the Buckeyes play in, by the way?
Columbus.
How far is that from Cleveland? That's
the capital of Ohio, man. That's our
I know, spot. But how far?
2.5. 2.5 from me.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, 2.5.
And, okay, here we go. Symmetry says if Ayuk is the only guy beating press man with consistency, getting rid of him, we may not have another 1,000-yard receiver for a decade. I heard there's a lot of good wide receivers coming out. I don't know if it's a good idea to take that gamble this year, so to speak. And usually when we get a wide receiver that is pretty good in the draft, they're never good right away. We kind of have to sit there and let them simmer and let them marinate a little bit, But
yeah, they gotta familiarize themselves with the system. Like BA is now marinated in the system. Like he knows the way that Kyle wants his offense run. And I think that once you have acclimated yourself with this system and with Kyle, because Kyle can be particular, right? He can be OCD. Like he dwells on the small stuff, and the small stuff is pretty much the reason why he's successful. So if you've got this system by the balls and you are our wide receiver one in it, like, bro, you got it's BA 10 times out of 10, fam. And it's really simple. It's really simple, right? That pass rush without Chase Young, Bashar, should be doing what they're doing with Chase Young. You follow me? Like they should be achieving that. Maybe not 15 sacks in 3 games, but like they should be successful without Chase Young. Okay? Next year, if Chase Young happens to play himself, if he's lights out electric, they tag him and they increase their capital. You know what I'm saying? You franchise tag him and you get a second for him. You know what I'm saying? But I want to believe that they can make it work. So time will tell.
Time will tell. Symmetry says unless Megatron is in the draft, no rookie we draft will replace BA. Yeah, there are some good receivers coming out, but then, like I said, it just takes them a while to get acclimated. Terradome says choice routes in a complicated system is like learning Spanish in a week and dropping you off in Mexico City with limited funds to say navigate. Google Translate can only take you so far too.
I don't have a wide receiver coach that I can go to for information, but Sim is a wide receiver coach.
Oh, okay, I never knew that. I wish you would have said that.
Sim knows that position like the back of his hand. He knows the game. It's crucial because we have someone special in BA family, and we didn't have a quarterback that could ever really feed him. And now we're seeing it all come to fruition, and it's a beautiful thing. And I implore 49er fans to really, really pay attention because this is special, man. It's very special. I said this last year, bro. I said this was special then, but it's just as special today, if not more, in his second year. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. I love Chase Young, but I do believe that line could have gotten just as much done without him. I don't know. I don't know what changed. I don't know what changed.
Really? You think with just Clelin Ferrell and Randy Gregory that would have been more than enough? Because Randy Gregory, a lot of people were excited to get him, but I don't think he gave us that much of an extra push in comparison to what Chase Young has given us.
I think we had higher expectations for Drake Jackson, and that really
he's a flop, dude.
It's a shame because you were trying to find that other side to complement Bosa, and you thought it was going to be in Drake Jackson. And when he fizzled out that first year, I wasn't worried, but I thought to myself, you know what? If he fizzles out now, if he's exhausted now, is he going to make an impact next year? He didn't make a big enough impact, bro. He didn't make a big enough impact. But like I will tell you that, I mean, we could probably break this down for the next few hours. Simply put, I'm going BA over Chase Young. Going BA over Chase Young.
Okay. Joey, I was going to say, we're going to wrap this up. I've been saying this for a while. I got to go. It's almost hit the 2-hour mark. Joey's just laughing about Drake Jackson. I made a little joke. Wasn't trying to clown on him too hard, but it was kind of sarcastic. At one point in the season, before, it was either right around the time we got Randy Gregory or right before, I was kind of making a little joke that maybe those 3 sacks that Drake Jackson got are the only sacks that we're going to see from him for the rest of the year. And unfortunately, they did put him on injured reserve, so it looks like that's going to be the case. And unfortunate, I get it. We had a bit higher hopes from second round draft pick, but he's just not the guy.
I'm not going to close the door on Drake yet. I'm not going to close the door on him yet. I believe that there was a great deal of pressure put on him to be that guy opposite of Bosa, and I just don't think that he was ready to answer that bell. Not yet.
Yeah, maybe he's got to build his arms up like Bosa, like Joey says. Because when we drafted Bosa, Bowie's like, oh, he's going to use his arms and break through the defensive line and sack the quarterbacks. All right, so Terradome said, Clell, Farrell, Jackson, and Gregory have potential ability, got traits and skills. Young has kinetic energy in the brand, and his overall just size, speed, and quickness, and his presence, his long ass arms, and all that. He's bringing so much to the table. Now he needs to refine his moves a bit, and hopefully he can learn something from Bosa in that regard, because Bosa just got those crazy hands and does all those weird things, and yeah, he's just a natural when it comes to like that. Him and his brother. Yeah, it's a little inside joke between me and Joey.
Because Bosa is obsessed with his craft. He times himself, bro. Like his diet, his routine is. I mean, he is who he is because of it. Essentially, he obsesses over the small stuff, and that's why he is who he is. He's calculated, and I love it.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have him. Fortunate to have a lot of great big time players on this Niner team, and we're definitely. I mean, we only got Chase Young for a damn 3rd rounder. Still shocked by that. Barely paying the guy like $600,000 this year, and let's see if we can make it pan out this year. Who knows what the season will entail? Love what I see from the offense and the defense. Special teams can fix a few things, and sure, offense is imperfect at times, and pass protection for Purdy can be a lot better. And Purdy's made some really good throws, like we mentioned earlier, with guys in his face and where he's about to get hit or when he does get hit. The guy's really, really nice though, throwing against the blitz, and I do like that. So who knows where he goes and how much better he can be and where he can take us. But I'm just here. I'm sitting back. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy the ride and have fun with it like all Niner fans should do. We should all just take a seat back and enjoy the ride.
Good.
And we shouldn't split hairs, as they say. I don't like when people split hairs about the quarterback position to the point where it gets redundant. We got Symmetry says, don't forget we have Robert Beal yet to show himself. He's more of a speed rusher. A little iffy on him, but I haven't seen him yet either, so I'm curious to see what he can do. Looks like they're going to have him in the mix at some point in time, possibly this season. We'll see where that goes. Will Bosa be a Hall of Famer? I think he will be. The only thing that will stop Bosa will just be being on the field. As long as he's on the field, or how many years he's going to be on the field for, he's definitely a potential Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I was trying to get more people to cast more votes because we're still at a standstill. It's 36% for Purdy, 36% for Mooney Ward, 33 people voted. Nick Bosa got 3% of the votes. CMC got 24. So I guess it's a toss-up. I'm just going to end the poll right now unless somebody's going to drop a last-second vote. Really, really quick. Terry Dome says Young needs a signature move. Yes, he does. Again, a spin, a bull rush, quick inside move, whatever. Figure that out and own it into a brand. Have people say that's a Chase Young move. I'll say this: when they brought up that boom box, as far as moves go, he definitely had that gritty down. He had the gritty down big time in his first game as a Niner, and that was nice to see him come out with the bump box and do that little gritty thing. I can't do it. I wish I could, but that was just so cool to see him hyped up with Debo and Trent Williams, and it just looks hella funny when Trent Williams is dancing or whatever, and that always cracks me up. Is Jared Allen a Hall of Famer? If not, Bosa will have to wait a while. It's hard to get into the Hall of Fame.
I don't think Bosa has done enough yet to be a Hall of Famer. Win a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, bro, and force fumbles and rack up a few sacks, and you can make a Hall of Fame. You can make the Hall of Fame. Bosa could do it. He could do it. If this team gets their 6th trophy, Bosa's a Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir. I totally believe you. Oh, alaikum salam, Mr. Symmetry 7. I totally understood what you're saying there. It's very, very common international saying, though, where it's not just tied to one language or one culture. A lot of people say that and use that. Hall of Fame is an individual award. Another DPOY, he's the man. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not too big on it. Again, I mentioned it earlier. It's nice to have individual accolades for players, but I'm more about what the team can do. You know, the number 6 trophy is the most, like that set of trophies right here. It's 5. I want to get another one where it could be 6, so, or possibly 7 in the future. Who knows, man? But let's see, man. All right, guys, been on here for hella long. Appreciate everybody in the chat. I tried to shout out everybody. I don't know if I missed anybody, but the chat was super, super busy. I was thinking I'm coming on here last minute, announced it 2 hours ahead of time. Didn't think many people would show up, and lo and behold, people showed up and are having fun in the chat. John V's, having fun. Always good to go back and forth with you, John. I didn't expect you to be this bad, but hey, sometimes we get really, really passionate about the team and players and comments and all that. I get it.
My emotions are a little heightened today. My Buckeyes ate the dirt. But listen, like, I'm an emotional human being. I'm passionate about my team. I love them, man. And I don't have a problem with anybody grinding to get that engagement, to get that food, and to pay those bills. I have absolutely no problem with it. There's just times where I just feel like we're trying too hard. We're trying too hard to direct a narrative. Like, the body of work speaks for itself, and no content creator can take that away from you. So that being said, no apology, Sim. I feel you, bro. I'm passionate, man. I love my Niners. I love doing this, Bash. For anybody that doesn't know, Bashar and I have become really, really good buddies, man. Like, I consider Bash one of my besties. Like, I have conversations with Bash off the record about just about everything. We talk food, fun, sports. We have a blast. Bashar is one of the best doing it, man. I love this guy. He's patient. He's calm. And he lets me act like a nut job. And I appreciate that.
I've done that plenty of times on my channel where I've acted like a nut job. So I totally know there's those points and times where you just got to let it out, and I like to be calm, cool, and collective, a la our quarterback, Brock Purdy. So shout out to Brock again, and shout out to Niners and Niners defense and Niners offense and the coaching staff, and everything's looking good. I'd love to be Philly. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate you, man. Joey's an awesome friend. John V's a great friend, and met a lot of great friends on this content creator community as well, and from the chatters as well. Met some of them in person, not all of them, but I'd like to meet more. Haven't got a chance. We're also spread out. We don't all live in one area, and we're in different states or whatever. And Steve-O coming out of the woodwork says nut job. Oh my god, I gotta read that. I didn't read the end of it. I just flashed on the screen, but appreciate you guys, man.
Over here, like, BB and J.
All right, so yeah, I thought we were gonna get one more vote in the poll, but I guess not. Let me just close it up though. But yeah, it's 36% for Mooney and Ward. They're both tied to get the game ball. All good. I was hoping there would be a clear-cut winner. But yeah, Mooney balled out. Pretty played good. He played better in the other games, but he had some really nice throws at points at times in the game. So I totally get that. He basically in the first half put the game out of reach, you could say. And yeah, I'll get. Oh, we're cousin-in-laws. Okay, Sim. Okay, I get that. I get. Yeah. So everybody in the chat's been awesome. If you're not subscribed to the Locker Room Rant channel on YouTube, that's John V's YouTube channel. He goes on there with his best friend that is a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yes.
Nicholas Akalatis, his fellow Greek compadre, along with Tony, who hasn't been on in a while. He's got some family stuff to attend to, but Tony's a Buffalo Bills fan. They're an excellent trio, and they laugh, they scream, they shout, they yell, they get pissed at each other. They do it all on that channel. So subscribe to that channel if you can, and hopefully we beat the Eagles. So it'd be really nice. Joey said the poll is like the Thanksgiving turkey on Thursday. Give it to everybody. Yeah, I guess so, huh? There you go. I said borderline Macedonia. Not sure what it means right there, but yeah. Hopefully we beat these Eagles. It's going to be a really tough test. I mean, as much as we talked up Purdy and the defense and Ayuk and the playmakers and CMC, Shanahan, no wins are guaranteed. We can say this player's doing really good and balling out, but hey, you're going to lose some games in the NFL. So there's a possibility we could lose this game. It could be. I see it being a very, very tough, close game, so to speak. So hopefully.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I see it being a close game. I don't have a score prediction just yet, but I see it being a close one, so not necessarily like the other games where
that's going to be a game, bro. And I think that San Francisco has a fucking sour taste in their mouth for that NFC Championship game, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was something there were installs that we did not get to see. And I hope that Shanny uses those versus Philly. Let's do it.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying Shanahan should have had his foot on the gas the whole entire game against the Seahawks. I kind of beg to differ because, we're going to play the Eagles a week after. So hopefully we do get in our bag for the Eagles game, and it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you guys again. Follow John V on his YouTube channel, Locker Room Rant. You can follow me on social media. Easy to find me on Instagram. Just type 49er Minded. I'm right there. Find me on Twitter, 49er Minded. There's a 49er Minded Facebook group. You can always hit me up in the DMs if you have any questions, comments on my little post that I put or whatever, and you want any dialogue, I'm okay to chat it up with anybody. Appreciate everybody, the content creator community. Appreciate all the chatters. Again, hopefully win this game is going to be tough. Thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er Minded. Peace. Let's beat the Eagles.
Peace. Later, family.
Grab them Philly birds. Let's go. Come on, 49er faithful. Let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.